You're watching live coverage of high
Those that defend our freedom and democracy at home and abroad with the playing of our national anthem.
Like it.
Let's meet today's starters. First up will be the Flyers of Chaminade.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Western New York Athletics. We're live here at Hilbert College for the site of the New York State Catholic State Semifinals in Class A as the Bishop Timon Tigers take on the Chaminade Flyers from Minneella, New York. We thank you guys for tuning into this broadcast. My name is Jacob Fayak. Alongside me is Tim Chifa. And Tim, basically say that these teams are almost even here in this matchup with some nice high-flying scorers with Jaden Harrison along with Chaminade's player David DeBuscher. And also, they have the exact record, both coming in with 23 wins and 3 losses.
Yeah, I mean, both teams definitely not used to losing. You know, when you play 26 games and you only lose 3, it's very rare that you lose. And, you know, especially in Timon's case, you know, 2 of their losses were against the same team. And they did a nice job overcoming those 2 losses and revenging those 2 losses in the championship game against Canisius, kind of getting over that hurdle. You know, they lost to them last year in the championship game, twice during the regular season this year, and then we're finally able to get over that hump to get to this point right here.
For Chaminade, they defeated St. Anthony's in a low-scoring 43-35 affair to bring home the NYSCHSAA championship for the 9th time in program history. In that game, Tim, St. Anthony's made it a battle for Chaminade to get points on the board as the Flyers never made it past a double-digit lead. And as this game comes along, I think it's going to be a little bit opposite. I think there's going to be more scoring, but I really feel like this is going to be a pretty close one.
Yeah, I agree, and it also shows that, you know, Chaminade had to face some adversity, right? I mean, it was a close game going back and forth, and when you win, when your record is 23-3, that means you have a lot of games in there that are just most likely blowouts or somewhat. So you got to get those games in there that are close, just like that, because when you get to, you know, points like this, there's a good chance that, you know, that the teams are going to be relatively close, like they are, like you mentioned earlier. So, you know, both teams have faced a little bit of adversity this year, and let's see who can overcome it.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're going to see that coming up in just a bit. Talking about Timon here in their last game, you mentioned about the 2 of the 3 losses they had coming into the season, both coming from the hands of Canisius, whereas this time, no, 3rd time's the charm was for Timon, and it was in the biggest stage of them all here in Western New York, beating the Crusaders 72-57 to get their first Manhattan Cup in 22 years.
Yeah, you know the old saying, it's hard to beat it's hard to beat a team 3 times. That's not exactly true. It's hard to beat a team that you're evenly matched with 3 times. If you're just so much better than them, it's not that hard. But Canisius and Timon were so close. That's why it's hard to beat a team 3 times, and that's how Timon got over the hump. But I'll tell you, Timon, you talk about balance, Jake. They have scores that average 16, 11, 22, 19. We'll get into that later. But this is the perfect example of balanced offense.
As we get started here, underway for the Catholic Class A semifinal round. Off the left side, 3 on the way. That doesn't fall for the Tigers, and the Flyers will grab the board. Starting lineup as follows. To start with Chaminade, they have number 20, Brady Wyckoff, with number 22, David DeBuscher. Number 24, Devin Dillon is out there with number 30, Anthony Vlagianitis. And then number 40, Joseph Knaus completes the 5 for Chaminade. For Bishop Timon, number 1, Jacob Humphreys with number 2, Malachi Parker. Number 3, Jaden Harrison's with number 10, Nakai Harris. And number 15, Alvin Mung completes the 5 for the Tigers, as Mung's hook shot there a bit strong off the right side. As we'll go the other side to the court towards the left side, you have Vlagianitis now moving around, being guarded heavily by Jaden Harrison, will be a big key for Bishop Timon today. Trying to set up a 3 on the way. Misses that time off the shot of DeBuscher. And Harrison will get the rebound, pop up for 3, swishes it down. Nice start there from the junior to get the first bucket of the game for Timon.
If you're not familiar with Western New York basketball, Jaden Harrison is one of the absolute elite players in this area, averaging 22 points a game, and it showed you right there. He can shoot it from all over the court.
And DeBuscher just got swallowed up there by Harris. Chill's trying to set up an open 3, can't respond. A big offensive rebound. Now DeBuscher fakes it, sets up a wide open teammate miscommunication, leads to Wyckoff with an easy 2 points.
You saw the court vision there by Chaminade. A little bit of miscommunication, as you mentioned, by Timon for the easy layup.
So they move it around towards the left side of the court. Now with the handoff. Shot up there, almost blocked, but contact called. And Devin Dillon commits the foul. Now set up Harrison to the line, and a guy that has made a big impact here in Western New York, shown to be one of the best players out of the 7-1-6, and only a junior, as he connects on his first free throw, just under 22 points a game. And he's received some Division I offers, including one coming from the University of Albany.
Yeah, both teams coming out in a man-to-man defense. And a team like this, who are from different areas, who are not familiar, it's going to take a little bit of time to see which matchups they like offensively, especially when you're playing a man-to-man, and see which ones they can take advantage of.
DeBuscher move it over, staying on the right side of the court, and he gets it right back. Playing some hard man-to-man defense. Chaminade just trying to set up pick and rolls to cut through, trying to kick it out off the hands of a teammate, and a turnover there. Nice pressure here by Timon, being aggressive, and we saw that the last couple of possessions when DeBuscher was on the ground, that Timon just swarming him immediately.
Yeah, Timon likes to play that, I guess you can call like a havoc man-to-man defense. They get their hands waving, they want to get their hands in the passing lanes, and they try to create a lot of tip balls like you just saw, which create turnovers.
Trying to bounce pass it inside. It was stolen away, but it looks like it's going to stay with Chaminade. It'll technically be credited as a steal for Bradley Wyckoff. So he will bring it up court, being guarded by Humphrey. Behind his back, spinning over to the right side to create room. Floating up the shot, off the glass and in.
Yeah, Humphrey took a little bit of a chance there going for the steal. Didn't work for him. Chaminade able to get in for an easy layup there.
Quickly 5-4 here for Timon with about 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Harrison stays along the left corner. 3 on the way, and that will sail out of bounds for essentially what is a turnover. They'll move it over to Dillon as the junior. Dribble it between his legs, move it towards the right side. DeBuscher firing a 3, can't get it to fall. Quickly, Timon. Along the top of the key, driving inside, faking, going up, initially blocked, going out of bounds, staying with the Tigers.
So Harrison, he's such an elite scorer. He hit a deep 3 his first time down floor. I guarantee he wants the ball to see if he's in one of those zones they talk about, Jake, because sometimes those shooters, they can just feel like, they're throwing it into an ocean.
And a rare foul there along the perimeter as Dillon picked up his second foul and now put Harrison back at the line for the rare 3 free throw opportunities.
Yeah, as I was saying, when you're such an elite scorer like that and you make that first deep three, you want to get the ball back as soon as possible because it might be one of those nights where everything's going to go in.
Knocks his first of 3 free throws down as initially we're going to have a substitution, but not yet for Chaminade. I just mentioned Devin Dillon picked up his second foul early on in this game. Second free throw on the way, misses that time for Harrison. And now Jack Connolly, the junior, will come in for Devin Dillon. Of course, it's always this part of the season where we're seeing a lot of high school playoff basketball in action, not only the boys but girls side. As we're getting this game going on, we are having Section 6 championships at Buff State for the boys, and we'll have that tomorrow for the girls as well. So plenty of high school playoff action here for basketball in Western New York as Chaminade trying to respond, keeping it a 1-point lead for the Tigers off the floater from Connolly.
And I see that Coach Jason Rowe not too happy with Humphrey the last 2 possessions on defense. The guy's gone right by him. He's got to stay in front of him. Stop going for the steals every time. Just play solid defense.
Nice bounce pass to an open teammate. Just couldn't capitalize on the bucket. And the Flyers are going the other direction. And a nice steal there. Trying to attack and get in the layup is Malachi Parker, the senior.
A little bit of a sloppy pass there by Chaminade, an easy steal for Timon.
Getting the handoffs to Busher. They kick it out. Can't get separation. Cross over to the right. Top of the key. Can't drive again. They move it over to Busher for 3. Can't find a way to hit it down. He's been cold so far from beyond the arc. Harrison from Parker faking the pass. 3 on the way. Rattles in and out.
Halfway down.
Quick pass over to Vlagianitis. Trying to attack. And he's rejected. Malachi Parker in the past minute sequence, having a big steal for a layup and gets a nice rejection there on the defensive side.
Yeah, great job. Not only the rejection, that also will get your teammates going too.
And there's able to respond when it comes to a shooter. You got to find a way to get out of it. And out of the 4th attempt, Busher knocks it down. So they try to move it around here. Like they are in like a, I want to say like a 1-3-1 defensive zone, but
yeah,
that
it's almost
time,
like a man-to-man match zone a little bit.
It looked like at first 3-2, but then it looked like it went to a 1-3-1.
Yeah,
but
they're trying to confuse Timon as much as they can, just give him some different looks.
At that time, Parker able to respond off a floater, trying to get it back, keep the 3-point shooting going. Doesn't work that time, and a big save there by Parker.
So they did switch. You're right. They did switch to a 2-3 zone here, or actually a 1-2-2.
Along the top of the key to the right side, Parker having an open teammate, trying to attack, contested. It doesn't matter. Nakai Harris, the sophomore, able to get points on the board. Deep 3 for DeBuscher, hits back iron. Ball is tipped and Chaminade gets an offensive board. With 2 minutes left in the first quarter, they try to reset up here to try to cut back into this deficit. Bounce passing it over to Canals, who's all by himself in the left wing. Now driving, going up, Connolly pressured, foul called, contact. That's on Parker, and going to the line will be the junior Jack Connolly.
So Jake, you want to talk about some talent on a coaching staff? Looking over at the Timon bench, you have Coach Jason Rowe, who was one of the best players to come out of Western New York, 2-time player of the year, and his assistant coach, Howard Washington, played for Syracuse University for a couple of years too. So definitely got some talent to help these kids for sure.
Successful high school basketball careers with successful collegiate careers as well. Able to create some nice mindset and a great philosophy that's helped this Tigers team have a very successful season.
Absolutely.
Moving around, Humphrey will get over to Aaron Hicks, who checked into the game. Three on the way. Harrison knocking it down. And early on, he is feeling it. His second three-pointer already in this first quarter.
Yeah, he's 2 of 3, but technically on the one that he missed, he got fouled on. So he's definitely starting to feel it.
Connolly with the floater. Never mind, says Jacob Humphrey. Able to get back in time and swat it out of bounds.
So again, a nice block from behind, but again, it's the third time he got beat off the dribble. He recovered that time, which was nice, but he's got to stay in front of his the player that he's guarding.
And did he touch it? He did. It's an over and a back call as Richard Gunther, sophomore, looked like got a bit of the ball as it went by him, and unfortunately, another costly turnover by the Flyers, but nonetheless, they're only down by 5 still. Moving over to the left to right, Parker having Hicks in the right corner. They don't give it to him. Now a threes battle between Harrison and Connolly. Harrison able to attack, draw the foul, and he'll go back to the line once more to shoot 2 free throws. Right now, he is 4 of 5 from the charity stripe.
I really like the way that Jaden Harrison is starting this game. He is looking to attack. He made a couple of shots right away, and he's gone to the basket a few times. He, like we said earlier, he's an elite scorer in this area, elite player, only a junior, and in a game like this, you need your stars to step up and do what they're supposed to do. So far, he looks like he is off to a big game.
And that's why you hit your free throws, as he's got 6 of them from the charity stripe, give him a total of 12, counting the other 2 3-pointers. 50 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Knaus now with it in the left wing, moving around towards the right side to Richard Gunther. Now back to the Busher. Gunther gets it back. Trying to create some separation. Connolly trying to drive. They go kick it out. Nice fake to the Busher for 3. Can't get it to fall. It was off the Chaminade player, off the hands of Wyckoff, so Timon will get the ball.
Yeah, Timon really making it everything difficult for Chaminade right now. They had a good look, for a 3, but it's one shot and done. But Timon playing a swarming defense, and it's really making it difficult for the offense of Chaminade to get a good look. If Timon can keep up that, it could be a long night for Chaminade.
Number 21, Cameron Rose from Chaminade, the junior, checks into the game with about 15 seconds left to go in the first quarter. From Humphrey, back over to Harrison by the Westher logo. Bang! Jaden Harrison is feeling it. Trying to go for the hook shot before the buzzer, doesn't get it to fall, and that brings the end to the first quarter. What a start by Timon, and what a start by the junior Jaden Harrison.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about, Jake. I had a feeling when he hit that first shot that was deep. Just sometimes shooters have those nights where they think they can make everything, and he's really close to that right now.
We thank you guys so far for tuning into this broadcast live on West New York Athletics. We'll take a quick break and be right back watching this game live on Western New York Athletics.
The NFHS.
And Market 32, we want to help you shop smart to get the best quality and value for you and your family. That's why we created more ways to save. Just use your Advantage card to save your way.
Well, we welcome back everyone out of the break. Class A Catholic State semifinal round here, as we start off there with Chaminade with the ball, but they had another over and back violation, so another turnover on their end. As right now they move it around from Humphrey to Harrison. Timon's got 21 points. Tim Harrison has 15 of them.
Yeah, he is feeling it so far, and Chaminade's going to have to do something to change up defensively, because he's looking at a 40-point night, and it could get away from Chaminade really fast. They don't change something up.
And for the second time in this game, a very rare another chance for Timon. Parker got fouled along the perimeter, so he'll shoot 3 free throws. He currently now has 5 points after that first free throw made.
Yeah, that's a coach's nightmare. You do not want to give a team that's already up 11, 12 points on you, 3 free throws twice already.
So Parker will take a couple of dribbles, spin the basketball in his hands, follows through, and makes all 3 of them, giving himself 7 on the day here, and Timon to their largest lead this afternoon by 13. See what Chaminade tries to do. They're going to have to try to get something going. That could be the spark right there. Joseph Knaus, the junior, knocking down a big three-pointer. So right now Humphrey just going to settle back, try to get this offense going. He'll move towards the right side. Hicks will fire 3. Can't hit it that time. And a big offensive rebound by Malachi Parker. The athleticism, we saw it early on with the big block, gets the putback there.
Yeah, that was impressive. This Chaminade just really just settling for three-pointers almost every possession down court. I don't think you just want to get into a three-point battle with Timon. I think you have to move the ball around, try and get easier shots, but they're really just settling for threes almost every time down court the last few possessions.
Nice fake pass to attack inside. Felt like that point was just all time, and you could have set up an open 3, which they've been hot at so far, or Nakai Harris, who's attacked the basket before, gets another one there.
Yeah, Timon, I mean, they are showing their athleticism so far. I mean, they are firing on all cylinders right now.
Nice feed inside to get it over to Bradley Wyckoff for the 2 points along the paint.
And as we mentioned, worked the ball around, got an easy layup that time, didn't settle for the three-pointer.
And I feel like Chaminade and Timon have both done a really good job passing the ball. It's just that Timon has just been, I feel, a lot quicker getting to the ball and getting back on defense, trying to find a way to answer back with the 3. Couldn't fall that time for Nakai Harris. Flyers will bring it up from Wyckoff, trying to get the handoff to Busher, fakes the 3, stepping back, now he'll fire. Can't capitalize that time, and Harrison just snagging it away from Connolly as Connolly gets called for the foul. That's his second one.
Also the 5th team foul on Chaminade.
So Timon will go ahead and bring it up court, going on top of the Hilbert College Hawks logo. Malachi moved towards the left side, and an offensive foul called against number 4, Aaron Hicks.
We got him for a moving pick there.
So maybe this could be something for Wyckoff and the Chaminade offense to try to get a run going here. To Busher, guarded heavily by Harrison, and a reach-in foul called against Harrison. That'll be his first one, and now the past minute or so, we've seen the refs being a little bit more aggressive and more tight-knit on the defensive play from both sides. Dillon trying to float it into the paint to Busher. Back to Dillon, they kick it out, firing a 3, swishing it down is Joseph Knaus. They used him a lot more in the paint in the first quarter. Now he's stepping back, getting that perimeter shooting going. Figure they might go to more plays to him to set him up for more open 3s.
Had something to say to the Timon fan base there after he made that.
Nice feed inside and a good adjustment by Harris against the contested player. Keeping this a double-digit lead. They're up by 11 now. Less than 5 minutes go in the first half. Nice spin move. Now back and forth we go. Both teams trading buckets after buckets.
Yeah, that was a nice offensive move there by Wyckoff there.
Nice feed inside, setting up a wide open Nakai Harris. He's done a phenomenal job. He's finding the holes to get into this Flyers defense, and he's able to attack inside for a nice 2 points as we see on the replay. Was wide open. Defense couldn't shift up to defend him, and it led to an easy layup.
Yeah, great job by Timon finding the open players. But that's all because they keep moving, Jake. Nobody is standing still for time. You're either setting a pick or you're moving. You're passing and you're moving, and you are keeping Chaminade defensively off balance, and you're getting open layups like that.
Well, to talk about Nakai Harris-Moore, the sophomore, who's been a big impact on this Timon Tigers team. You know, he's not the only one that's had a lot of success here and tried to set up a good resume for himself in Western New York. His father, Paul Harris, has already created an amazing high school basketball career here in the 716, who made a name for himself as a great player when he donned the blue and gold at Niagara Falls and eventually played college basketball at Syracuse.
Yeah, one of the best players to come out of this area for sure.
DeBuscher trying to go inside as Parker will get called for the foul. A lot of contact there. Easy call for the ref to make there, and DeBuscher will go to the line.
Yeah, that was a really nice offensive move by DeButcher there. He was really patient, did a little pump fake, got the Timon defender in the air, and got the easy foul, go to the free throw line for 2.
So as DeBuscher goes to the line, a couple of things about him as he makes his first free throw. He picked up 1,000 career points earlier this year. And for you Knicks fans who happen to be tuning into this game, we talked about the Kai Harris and Paul Harris connection. How about the Dave DeBuscher connection with his grandfather of the same name? He played in the NBA for 13 seasons with the Detroit Pistons and New York Knicks, winning 2 NBA championships, and is also an NBA Hall of Famer for the class of 1983.
So you see that Chaminade is trying to change it up a little bit. They're basically trying to face guard Harrison right now to try to take him out of the offense as much as possible.
Well, looked like it looked that time on the side, on the defensive side for Chaminade, as Humphrey gets called for the offensive foul.
So I think what Chaminade is going to try to do is let somebody else beat you besides Harrison. Unfortunately, Timon's got a very well-balanced offensive team, so it's not just Harrison you have to worry about.
Nice layup inside. It's a good job by DeBuscher off the screen and using his speed to get to the left side of the paint.
And that's, again, a really nice job by Chaminade, not just settling for the three-pointer. Work the ball around, let the three-pointers come to you, but you're going to get easy layups sometimes, too, if you keep running your offense.
Bounce passing it over, and a big turnover there off consecutive possessions. Can the Flyers respond? Right now, Wyckoff with it from Knaus, moving it over. How about this for a deep three? A big one there by Antoni Vlagianitis, the senior. And just like that, a timeout called with 3:09 to go here in the first half. And the Flyers building some momentum. They're down 32-28.
Yeah, so, I mean, really nice job by Chaminade, because this game was really close to almost getting away. They called the timeout and they changed something, and that was, hats off to Coach Dan Feeney there. He didn't like what he saw. He changed the defense around, and the last 3 minutes, it's almost like a completely different team. They're not just coming down and forcing up a three. They're working the ball around, looking for layups, and then taking the three as a secondary, and they've actually hit 2 of them when they're not just going up and forcing them. Not only that, but they changed their defense around. They are now kind of face guarding Harrison, if you will, just trying to get Timon out of the rhythm a little bit, especially someone like Harrison who is such a good scorer. You got to give him different looks because he's been too hot tonight.
Absolutely, and on the offensive side for Chaminade, they look like they're picking up the pace a little bit more. Their passes look a little bit more crisp in the last couple of possessions. Firing up as a three-pointer and able to knock it down. Damian Johnson, the sophomore, just came off the bench. That's a big three for them. And trying to get over to DeBuscher, but this time Harrison getting the steal. Now attacking Parker for 2.
Great look there. Looking up court. I think that was, I didn't have the number, but I think it was Hicks maybe. But great look up floor for the easy layup.
Showing off that man-to-man defense are the Tigers, keeping this along the perimeter. Now DeBuscher trying to attack inside. They kick it out, have an open teammate, firing the three, and Knaus once again knocking down the tray. That's his 3rd of the game, all coming from the second quarter.
And that was DeButcher there penetrating to the basket and kicking it out for the open three. Really nice job there.
Harrison attacking. He tripped and fell. Foul called as Vlagianitis will pick up a personal foul.
It's the second time that Harrison's gotten tripped up from behind.
Timon up by 6. At one point, this lead got almost to as much as 13, but Chaminade cutting it down a bit. Johnson trying to extend it more, hits front iron. Now Vlagianitis. He had 1 3. Can he try to get another one? This time they're going to pass it around, go along the baseline. Nice feed in there from Devin Dillon to David DeBuscher. DeBuscher now having 6 in this quarter. He's got 9 so far in the game.
Chaminade's offense looks like a completely different team than they did earlier in this game. Everything was coming very difficult for them earlier. It was hard to get shots off. Now they're moving the ball around, getting open shots for layups and threes.
Johnson didn't have the right angle on the layup, and now they go in the other direction, 2-on-1. Bounce passing over. Vlagianitis can't hit the 3. Big rebound there by Harris.
If I'm Timon, I get the ball back in Harrison's hands here. He has not shot the ball in quite some time, and Timon's offense has been all out of sync.
Harris going to use that screen from Harrison. Almost got poked away. Now Humphrey trying to drive, kicking out. Hicks firing the 3 off the back side of the rim. Doesn't fall. Big rebound there by Dillon. 45 seconds left. Now here comes some pressure, but they're able to beat it out of the trap. Vlagianitis on the drive, kicking it out to Buscher. Open for 3. Can't get it to fall. He's had that happen a couple times where the ball is just going around the rim and not falling.
Halfway down, I guarantee they felt like that was going in.
So there's about half a second here between the shot clock and game clock. Right now, game clock just ahead of the shot clock. So Humphrey, the Harrison, moving it over to Hicks, and now finding it is Johnson. Back to Hicks, trying to kick it out, and it goes into the hands of Vlagianitis. 1 second left, firing it off, and off the backboard, doesn't get it to fall, and nice momentum there by Chaminade to end the half, but it's Timon still up front, 37-33.
Yeah, Chaminade just, I'm really impressed with the way they recovered because this was getting a little bit out of hand, and Timon was feeling it. They were swarming on defense, and Chaminade just has totally taken over this game the last 4 minutes. New ball game now.
And so far in this first half, you have right now Jaden Harrison, who actually didn't have a bucket in that second quarter. He still leads the way with 15 points, but Joseph Canales with 9, along with David DeBuscher, who's got 9 points as well, leading the way for the Flyers. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back. This is Western New York Athletics Live.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, large or small, call 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab right away. If you are in pain or just sore, don't take chances. Call RES today and take advantage of their 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. With no copays, RES will help navigate the confusing world of no-fault insurance with you, so you can concentrate on getting better. 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. The most important call you can make after an auto accident.
300 Level Media is a locally owned and operated, multi-purpose media company right here in Western New York. You'll find us everywhere, covering the Bills, Sabres, Buttes, Bisons, Big Four basketball, local college sports, and much more. Our staff offers a variety of media services, from video production, live event coverage, audio broadcasts, professional voiceovers, camera operation, and videography. Visit www.300levelmedia.com or give us a call at 716-427-2600. This is 300 Level Media.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. Ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Call 835-WOLF. Remember, you calling the Wolf. That's all you had to say. Call today.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Our homes have become offices, gyms, schools, and playgrounds. And at Western New York Immediate Care, we know you may need us now more than ever. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care physicians are trained to diagnose and treat most non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses. With 5 convenient locations open 7 days a week, help is never far away. Life has changed, but Western New York Immediate Care is still here for you.
I love There's nothing better than owning the perfect house to come home to. You've earned it, and we'll make it happen. Our local real estate experts and in-house team of financial professionals make buying or selling your home simple. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
I love being home.
Welcome back, everyone, here for some New York State Catholic State playoff basketball here. This is the semifinal round in Class A. We're live here at Hilbert College in Hamburg, New York. As my name is Jacob Flack, alongside me is Tim Chifa. Bishop Timon Tigers right now out in front on the Chaminade Flyers, 37-33. Flyers gained a little momentum towards the end of the first half, but Timon doing a phenomenal job getting to their speed, passing the ball very well. And Harrison, who was very on fire in the first quarter, didn't get any points in the second quarter, and obviously you're going to have to see him try to produce here in the second half.
Yeah, I think for sure you want to go back to what you were doing when you were successful in the first quarter and a half, and that was moving the ball and then getting Harrison good looks, also playing better defense. They were swarming the ball, they were playing aggressive defense, and then Chaminade took a timeout and kind of everything changed. You know, they switched up the defense. They were more patient on offense. And if I'm Chaminade down 4 at halftime, I'm actually really happy because this game could have got away from them. And I'm really, really impressed the way they were able to change things around and get right back into the game.
Right now, Timon Tigers will start off with it. They try to feed inside to Harrison. Was hoping to kick it out to Parker, but the Busher able to snag it with one hand. Now Vlagianitis moving over to Canals. Trying to get it back to Dylan. It was almost taken away, but Dylan corrals it. As he's well beyond three-point land. Almost got pickpocketed by Harrison. Too close there for the half-court line. He'll move it over to Wyckoff. Canals trying to drive for the layup and gets it in off the contested defender of Humphrey.
Yeah, really nice take that by Canals. Went hard to the basket using his left hand for the layup. 2-point ball game.
And it looks like we have a stoppage here as the net got tangled up at the rim. So we'll have Timon take this out of bounds towards their bench.
So last possession, not the way that Timon wanted to start, with a turnover right away.
Popping up, Harrison, Malachi Parker. He had 11 points in the first half, give him now 13.
A nice step back, 15-footer.
Trying to attack, and a big block there by Alvin Mung, but they're able to respond.
Yeah, good job there by having two block shots there by Mung, but Chaminade able to stay with it and put it back in.
Now Mung, the senior, going to use that screen, and we'll try to roll along with Harrison high as he took down hard. Telling his teammate to get back, but fortunately this time leads to 2 points. The game's all netted up at 39 as we have a stoppage hit here as Harrison did get up on his own, just a little bit shaken up.
Yeah, he fell hard there, but I give him credit because his teammate was trying to check him. He was screaming, "Get back on defense, I'll be okay." But went to the basket hard and fell pretty hard, but looks like he's trying to walk it off. Tough kid right there.
Last time teams had this game was all tied up was at the start of this contest, as Parker's shot can't get it to fall, and Knaus with the big rebound with their chance to get a lead. Can he get it to respond? He does! Wide open.
Timon should take a timeout, but they are out of sync right now.
Big three by Antoni Vlagianitis, and they take the 42-39 lead. Here's now Humphrey from Harris to Mung, and Humphrey gets it back, being guarded by Dillon. Now here's Harrison for three. Can't get able to tie it up, and Knaus with another board.
Great pick there by Munn to give Harrison the wide open look, just unable to put it in there.
Along the top of the key, Knaus lost his dribble to Vlagianitis. Moving over to Dillon, who's guarded by Mung. Inside, DeBuscher kicking out. Open three on the way. He responds! Antoni Vlagianitis, 2 of 2 for the last 2 possessions by the Flyers, and they are now out in front, outscoring Timon in this quarter 8-2. Timeout called by Timon with 5:23 left to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, not the way that Timon drew up the start of this third quarter. They look out of sync. Their heads are down a little bit. You know, they took a timeout. I thought I probably should have took it a little while ago, but this is like a totally different basketball game, Jake. I mean, Timon was firing on all cylinders, and they have been out of sync for quite some time now. They got to go back to what they were doing in the first quarter, moving the ball around, playing swarming defense, because right now Chaminade is playing with all the confidence in the world. Not to mention, they're starting to make every shot right now, too.
And you figured at one point with the three-point shooting, you know that's what this team likes to do. You saw with DeBuscher, he was struggling a little bit from three-point land. It had to come from somewhere else, and now you're seeing that from a mix of Knaus, Antoni Vlagianitis, who's got 3 3-pointers. Could that possibly be contagious and DeBuscher starting to take over?
Well, it's not only that, but they're working the ball around to get open looks, and that's what Timon isn't doing right now.
So right now, Harrison trying to kick it out over to Parker along the right wing. Humphrey along the top of the key will fire a 3, missing off back iron, and a rebound there by Wyckoff.
That's a bad shot coming out of a timeout there.
DeBuscher faking the 3, bounce passing it over. Giannitis got him the move, can't attack inside, out of bounds, staying with the Flyers.
So you see the difference the last couple of minutes. Chaminade is working the ball around, moving, passing, and getting open looks off the pass. Timon's trying to do it off the dribble. You got to move the ball around offensively.
How about that steal by Humphrey as he'll coast for an easy 2 points. It was tipped. He got it to go through the defender's legs and get the layup.
And that's the way to get going again. Start it with your defense. Walk.
And a big travel there. That was one of the downfalls a little bit in the first half for Chaminade, were these turnovers that led to Timon responding. Yeah. Now let's see what the Tigers do off a turnover.
And you know, strong defense. It also gets the players back into the game, gets the crowd back into the game, and you can get layups like that. So it all starts on the defensive end.
Humphrey thought about the 3. We'll move it over to Harris. Now Mung along the paint, kicking it back out. On the Western New York logo, Harrison firing for 3. Misses. Trying to tip it. And it goes to the hands of Humphrey, trying to feed it to Mung, who wasn't expecting it, and it's taken away.
Good look there by Humphrey, but Mung unable to handle it.
Knaus to Vlagianitis, to DeBuscher. Now moving over to Dillon, they kick it out. Knaus, he's been hot from 3, can't get it to respond. It's tipped into the hands of Harrison. Parker for 3. And he gets fouled by DeBuscher. And once again, Parker will go to the line to shoot 3 free throws.
Yeah, so for the 3rd time today, Timon will shoot 3 free throws. It's rare you see that once a game. We're seeing it for the 3rd time for the same team.
And they're going to be big free throws there. They were very successful from the charity stripe. You know, it only went through Harrison and Parker, but they did a phenomenal job knocking down the free throws, and they continue on there. Right now, cutting this lead down to 3. You could see it right there off that second free throw. There's a routine that you usually like that makes you comfortable. You saw Parker spin the ball. He bobbled it a bit, then tried to follow through and missed it. So, like, once you're –
got him out of sync.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, if you're out of sync in your free throws, you have a good chance of missing it. And that time, he misses 2 of them from the line. This is a 3-point lead, trying to poke at it, but it goes into the hands of the Busher. Now Knaus! Not that time, says Nakai Harris. He comes from behind, and the sophomore swats it out of the hands of the junior.
Good job there by Harris recovering to block that shot there.
Connolly over to Dillon, and a nice quick 2 buckets there by Chaminade.
That's just too easy. That's just too easy. You can't give up layups underneath the basket like that.
As they extend their lead to 5, Harrison trying to cut it back down, and he'll have a chance to cut this lead even more as he goes back to the charity stripe for the first time since the first quarter.
And I like that there because Harris has missed. He was hot at the beginning. He's missed his last couple. You want to get an easy bucket to get going again. Best way to do that is either get a layup or, like this, get a free throw.
So right now 2 team fouls on Chaminade as Harrison will take a couple dribbles, follow through, and hits his first free throw there that time. And one thing I mentioned towards that first half is that we saw a lot more fouls in the second quarter, and it looks like it's been consistent with the refs calling things. So you have to figure from Timon, like, maybe you attack the basket and go to the free throw line. You've been very successful at it.
Yep. But attack it, you know, through your offense. You know, it's just not one dribble and go. Make a couple passes, get that defense moving. That'll create spaces to be able to get a lane to the basket.
Connolly over to DeBuscher and moving it back to Vlagianitis. Got him to get Humphrey on his feet as Knaus is open for 3. Misses that time as Timon will bring it up court. Harrison want to try to create separation. He couldn't. Now Parker almost had it taken away. Step back 3. Can't hit it that time. Mung with the board. And there's a foul called, and it's going against Timon. It'll be on Harrison.
Yeah, and again, that's Harrison, that possession comes down, dribbles for about 10 seconds, 1 pass and a shot. That's not the flow of the offense that Coach Rowe wants. I guarantee that. That's not what they were doing in the first quarter.
To the left side, Vlagianitis as Hicks went up there. Now showing that zone defense. He'll fire the 3 and swish it down. Now all of his 3-pointers are coming in the third quarter. He shot all of his buckets from beyond the arc. He currently has 12 as Timon will take this out of bounds. Chaminade up by 6. Going to take that screen by Hicks as Harris trying to find a way to cut inside. He'll go up, foul called, he'll be on the floor. And once again, Connolly gets called for the foul. That's his 3rd personal foul.
They did call it on the floor, though, so it's Timon's ball underneath the basket.
Trying to find a way to set up Harrison against the Busher. Will fire the 3. Hits off the left side of the rim, doesn't fall. Now Connolly can't get by Hicks. The Busher with it now, moving over to Vlagianitis. Now Connolly along the top of the key with less than 2 minutes going to third. The Busher for 3. Can't get it to fall. That's been like the 4th time.
Exactly.
His 3-pointers in the quarter have rolled around the rim and not fall.
Yeah, and I guarantee from the shooter's perspective, those feel like they're going in. They're just not dropping at the last second.
Harrison with the spin move, hook shot, gets it, foul called. He'll go a chance for the 3-point play. And that's one thing I was trying to bring up, Tim, is find a way to attack the basket, maybe try to draw a foul, and it worked in the favor of Timon.
Absolutely. Great job there. He missed his last couple of shots, so instead of settling for the 3, he goes back on the blocks there, makes a nice spin move, goes up to the left hand, gets fouled, and makes it.
Connects on the 3-point play, and we're back to a 3-point lead by Chaminade, who will bring it up court. Connolly trying to get by Humphrey, crossing over, going up. He's blocked by Humphrey. We've had about maybe 4 or 5 blocks in this, all in favor of Timon.
And I think Humphrey's got a couple. He's probably the smallest guy on the court. But he's super athletic, and he shows it there. He had a couple one from behind and one right there.
Connolly trying to find the teammate, and he gives it to Vlagianitis. Dylan to the Busher, trying to attack, guarded by Harrison, now facing a double team. Parker tipping and getting a steal, trying to go out in front, but it's tipped. What a tip there by Vlagianitis that sets up the Busher, but he missed the layup, and a foul called on Chaminade.
Both teams a little out of sync there. The ball was loose for a couple of seconds. Timon able to come up with it. Down 3 here with 58 seconds left.
So Bradley Wyckoff and Cameron Rose check back into the game for the Flyers. Less than a minute to go here in the third quarter.
I think Coach Rowe likes the matchup with Harrison on the blocks. I think they're going to look for him down there.
Firing the 3. Can't get it to fall for Harris. Rose. Vlagianitis wanted to get Harris to move a bit. Couldn't. Now trying to dribble around to the left side of the court. To Busher in the corner. Gets it back. Harris trying to go for the steal and gets called for the reach-in foul.
Yeah, that was close. I thought that was good defense. Could have went either way. I actually thought that he got ball there, but nonetheless, they called it a reach.
That's a first personal foul on Nakai Harris. As now the shot clock is going to be turned off, so Chaminade can just wind this clock down if they want to. Wyckoff, though, going to attack inside and gets the friendly roll.
That was a nice take there by Wyckoff, so Timon going to hold for the last shot here.
It was now with 6 seconds left, 5 seconds left. Harrison on a drive, floater up and in. Right before the buzzer sounds. And that shot up doesn't count as the clock reaches 0. We finish 3 quarters of play here in the New York State Catholic State semifinal round in Class A. Timon was out in front throughout the majority of the game. Chaminade comes back. They're up 52-49. We'll take a break in the action. You're watching high school playoff basketball on Western New York Athletics.
Our homes have become offices, gyms, schools, and playgrounds. And at Western New York Immediate Care, we know you may need us now more than ever. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care physicians are trained to diagnose and treat most non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses. With 5 convenient locations open 7 days a week, help is never far away. Life has changed, but Western New York Immediate Care is still here for you.
There's nothing better than owning the perfect house to come home to. You've earned it, and we'll make it happen. Our local real estate experts and in-house team of financial.
Hearing that from the Timon fan base, they have been electric so far throughout this game, as they're going to need to help spark this Timon offense. As a big missed 3 by there, and the Tigers will bring it up. Harrison for 3, knocks it down! Left wing 3-pointer, Jaden Harrison, getting his first 3-pointer since the first quarter.
Tie ball game, Jake. Who's going to step up here? Fourth quarter, championship, semifinal game. Who is going to take over this ball game and send their team to the finals?
Canals trying to respond back. Can't that time. And a big rebound there by Timon. They'll bring it up. Trying to get a lead that they haven't had since the third quarter. As a foul called here. That's now 6 team fouls on on Chaminade.
Yeah, that's big, because obviously the next team foul will be a 1-and-1. until that 10th foul, which becomes 2. So it's a lot of time, 7 minutes left. It could be an advantage there for Timon.
Hicks trying to find Harrison, and he does. Trying to create some separation. Looks like a little ISO trying to attack. It didn't matter. 1 defender, 2 defender, 3. Don't matter for Harrison.
Nope, great move. What are you going to do with Harrison? You're going to worry about the three-pointer? If you worry about that, he's going to go right by you like he just did.
Already now a quick 5 points, all coming from Harrison, just like it was in the first quarter, getting the first 7 points for this team. They're now back up by 2. Kicking it out, though. 3 on the way. Can't fall that time. Chaminade showing a little bit of shades in the first quarter. Had a hard time to get the threes to fall. Harrison with the screen, popping over to Harris. Now being guarded by Connolly. Offensive foul.
Yeah, they're saying he got him. He lowered his shoulder a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. I thought he was moving personally, but called the offensive foul. Chaminade ball, down 2.
Well, let's see what DeBuscher can try to do here. He'll move it over to Dylan of Vlagianitis. Nice feed inside, but couldn't get enough separation for a bucket underneath. He'll reset. Connolly trying to move to his right now. Feed it inside to Dylan, over his hands and out of bounds for a turnover.
Good pressure defense there by Timon, created another turnover. Kind of playing back to the same defense they were playing in the first quarter, which was making everything difficult for Chaminade.
Humphrey only has 2 points in this game, came from the last quarter, as that was a kick ball. So Timon will take it by their own bench. 5:46 to go here in this game.
If I'm Timon, I like the matchup with Harrison on the blocks right there. I think he's got an advantage. He made the last couple right there.
Harrison lost his dribble, fade away, misses that time. And they'll bring it up court. Connolly against Harris, stopping, moving it around. Knaus trying to attack with the floater. It's short, into the hands of Dylan, off of Timon hands. Now Knaus along the left wing, and they'll give it to Vlagianitis. Now to Busher, guarded by Hicks, stepping back. Didn't like what he saw, had to get the pass there on time. Dylan, reverse layup underneath, gets it in.
Really nice stutter step there to get a layup.
He's currently at 6 points in this ball game.
And also being asked with the task of guarding Jaden Harrison.
Parker, guarded by DeBuscher. Lost his dribble, will move it over to Harris, and the head coach for Timon, Jason Rowe, didn't like what he saw from the offense that time. He wants them to get a timeout, 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here on the broadcast side of things. 4:51 remaining here in the game, all knotted up at 54, and this has been a game that we saw that was going to be close. It didn't seem like it at first when Timon took a double-digit lead, but Chaminade was able to get their way back into this game at halftime. They took the lead, and then right out of the fourth quarter, Jaden Harrison, trying to put the team on his back, took over, and we're all tied up again.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see you mentioned Coach Rowe taking a timeout there. 4:51 left. Every possession is critical at this point. He didn't like what he saw. If I'm Timon, I like the matchup with Harrison on the blocks, especially with 16 fouls on Chaminade right now. Try to get that 7th foul, whether it's going to the basket, any way you can get it, because it's crucial to go, get those 1-and-1s the rest of the game. It's a huge advantage.
And they've been very successful from the charity stripe. Now, granted, it's only come from the hands of Malachi Parker and Jaden Harrison, but they've been very successful.
Good look.
Nice feed as Humphrey slashes to the hole for 2.
Great job. They had a double Harrison there. Good job by Humphrey noticing and slashing to the basket, getting the dump off from Harrison for the easy 2.
Right now, Connolly, guarded by Humphrey, trying to swipe at it, and they'll kick it out over to the Busher. Dylan tried to get it. A nice job by the length of Harris to get the layup and in.
Great job. Great steal by Harris. Good hands. And again, Timon going back to that swarming defense.
Now Connolly trying to attack, Trying to go up, can't get the friendly roll, and a rebound there by Parker. And with that bucket by Nakai Harris, he joins Jaden Harrison and Malachi Parker with double-digit points. And that's one thing we saw. How about this by Humphrey? Going up for the layup, gets a friendly roll, absolutely jukes Lagianitis out of the way and attacks the basket. Timeout called by Chaminade. 60-54 is our score. We'll take a break and be right back. This is Western New York Athletics Live.
Life can be full of surprises, but not always the good kind. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care, and we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
With exclusive buyer insights and our 100% money-back guarantee, we're confident we'll find buyers for your home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Welcome back, everyone, to Western New York Athletics Live here at Hilbert College, as we are here for the New York State Boys State Semifinal round for Catholic high school basketball. This is the Class A semifinal round between Timon and Chaminade. Tigers up on the Flyers 60-54 with 3:46 left to go in the fourth quarter. And Timon able to bounce their way back and get a nice little run going here. We talked about at the start of this game that how this team has multiple guys who can put the ball in the basket, all averaging double-digit points, 3 guys averaging double-digit points per game, as we see that tonight with 3 guys in double figures. Nice steal there by Harris. Moving it over. Malachi Parker with the throwdown.
All stumps from the defense. Timon swarming defense again, creating turnovers, and another turnover right there.
And this crowd is electric right now. Off the dunk by Parker and a big turnover by Chaminade.
And again, all created with the defense, Jake. Timon is at its best when they are playing that havoc, man-to-man, swarming defense, getting their hands in the passing lanes.
Here's now Humphrey. Moving it over to Harris. Trying to attack, going up. Foul called. Gets the bucket and the foul.
Everything going Timon's way right now. The crowd is going crazy. Another strong take to the basket, getting fouled, making it and getting the free throw. Timon back to a double-digit lead just like that. I mean, it seemed like it took 30 seconds. It was a tied game a minute ago. And that just shows how electric and athletic this Timon team really is.
DeBuscher trying to drive and a foul called on Timon. That's their 4th. And that foul earlier by Chaminade that sent Harris to the line, that was their 7th foul. So any other fouls they commit, they'll be Timon will be shooting the free throws the rest of the way.
Yeah, they got Humphrey for a reach there. Got another close one.
Trying to drive was Wyckoff, but gets over to Knaus. DeBuscher faking it. Now 3-pointer on the way. Gets it to fall in. The rims have been his nightmare so far today, but this time it falls in for DeBuscher, and the lead's cut down to 7.
Yeah, and that was a really nice pump fake. The Timon defender run right past him. He stepped over to his left and hit the 3. Really nice offensive move there. Timon willing to take his time now, right? I mean, this kind of lead, 2 minutes. Time is your friend right now.
Humphrey guarded by Knaus. From Hicks to the left side, over now to Harrison. Facing that double team, and they get called for the foul. And Harrison will go to the line for a 1-and-1.
Good job by Harrison. I like the defense there by Chaminade. You know, at this point, you do got to take a little bit of risks. But a good job by Harrison holding on to that ball, able to get fouled before he passed it over.
Harrison so far in this contest leading all scorers. Right now with 27 points, trying to go for point number 28, and it rattles in. What an amazing season that this Bishop Timon team has done so far as they extend their lead to 8. Looking at the roster that started out here, their starting 5 had 2 seniors, 2 out of the 3 that's on the whole roster. And it's safe to say Timon you know, they got a lot of underclassmen that, you know, can make a great team next season, as Vlagianitis, three's no good, and stepping out of bounds was Wyckoff.
Yeah, this Timon team isn't going anywhere. They have one of the best coaches in Western New York and one of the best players coming back next year, too.
Now here comes the full court press, and they're able to beat it out. Here's now Harris trying to go for the dunk, just couldn't get enough elevation there, but gets his own rebound. Now smacking it out of bounds was David DeBuscher, so Timon will keep possession with 2:07 to go in the game. Humphrey. Against Vlagianitis, goes by two defenders, as that will go out of bounds, and Tigers will keep it. Shot clock now at 20.
I mean, Jacob Humphrey is so athletic. I mean, the way he gets to the basket, I mean, it's just really something to watch.
Harrison on an ISO, one-on-one against Dillon, off the glass, can't get it to fall. Now here comes the Flyers in the other direction. Vlagianitis over to Wyckoff, trying to attack,
and
Humphrey, that's his third block of the game.
Again, he's got to be one of, if not the shortest, but he's so athletic, and blocking just isn't in height, it's timing, and it just shows how athletic he is.
DeBuscher's three can't get the fall. Hicks trying to corral the rebound and hold on to dear life. That's another foul and a one-on-one, as this clock is now at 94 seconds to go in the game.
Yeah, right now we're at a three-possession game, but you got free throws to try to make it a four-possession game. It's going to get tough now for Chaminade. They can't match points. They got to score right away, and you get steals or get time to miss some free throws. Because, like you said, 134, it's getting away from him pretty quick here.
Hicks going for the free throw and swishing it down. I'll tell you what, there's only been three. He's the he's the third guy to go to the line for this Timon team. But, hey, only three players going to charity stripe, and they've all equal to a very high percentage from the line.
And that's why every coach, you shoot free throws at the end of every practice, no matter what, because you want to shoot free throws being tired. You want to simulate being tired in the fourth quarter. You're going to make your free throws this game's going to be over.
So number 3, Jack Connolly will come into the game for Devin Dillon, as Timon picked up their 15th foul of this half. Now with 91 seconds remaining in the game, Connolly will bring it up, guarded by Humphrey, moving to Vlagianitis, trying to drive, kicking it out. DeBuscher, guarded by Parker, and it looked like that might have been tipped, as Harrison will bring it up against two defenders, and a timeout called by Timon. Big one there.
That was a great call by Jason Rowe right there, getting that timeout. It was really close to a turnover. Good heads-up coaching right there.
And let's talk about, more about this Timon squad. Going into the season, this was a very youngful squad, even though they start with 2 seniors. But you figure with the talent they had a chance to go back to the Manhattan Cup, where they fell last year to Canisius. And not only they fell to Canisius last year, they lost to them twice in the regular season. But for them, Timon was able to pull through and pick up the win to win the Manhattan Cup for the first time in 22 years. And they were doing it after losing one of their top scorers last year in Kevin Thompson. And you've seen the replacements with Jaden Harrison, as well as Nakai Harris. As a sophomore, he's averaging almost 20 a game. Then you have Jacob Humphrey, who's averaging over 16 a game. They have the players right now to go and make another big run next season as well, after having a very successful season this year as well.
Yeah, I had a chance to interview Jaden Harrison right before that the playoff run, and I asked him, what's it going to take to get over that Canisius hump? And he just said, we just got to play our game. We know we can play with them. We just got to play Timon basketball, and that's what they've been doing the last few weeks.
Harrison cutting by 2 defenders, moving it around. Trying to attack was Parker. Layup was short, couldn't adjust, and goes out of bounds.
I thought that they could have called an offensive foul there on Harrison, so they may have gotten away with one. But nonetheless, it's Chaminade ball. They need a quick bucket, minute 6. Got to get a quick bucket, go for a steal. If you don't get the steal, you got to follow them right away.
So right now, Knaus for Chaminade and Humphrey for Timon check back in. Quick speed by Connolly going for the layup, and Hicks. This blocking has been contagious for the Tigers. They're the only team out there that have recorded a block, and that's now the 4th different player that's had one. To Busher for a 3, can't get it to fall. Wyckoff able to get it. Timeout called by the Flyers as it's a 9-point lead for the Tigers. 52.6 seconds left to go as we will take a break here. We'll be right back. This is Western New York Athletics Live.
Life can be full of surprises, but not always the good kind. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care, and we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
With exclusive buyer insights and our 100% money-back guarantee, we're confident we'll find buyers for your home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Welcome back, everyone, to Western New York Athletics. Thank you guys for tuning in to this broadcast, and what an entertaining game it has been from both sides. They've each gone on their own runs going back and forth, but this time it's just been the Timon Tigers who are now out in front by 9 as they got to face a Flyers full court press. Hicks into a double team, and a foul called against Chaminade. That's their 10th, and now shooting 2 will be Hicks, who goes back to the line, making his 2 free throws the last trip.
I mean, it's so hard to press a team so athletic like Timon. They're so fast. They're so good. That's just a really tough task for Chaminade, but they did what they had to do. They went for a steal, got the quick foul.
This is the first free throw there, as right now Connolly and Knaus, they're their big offensive assets for Chaminade, as they're doing multiple substitutions here. Second one on the way up, swishes that one down. It's 3 of 4 for the charity stripe. Right now Connolly going to Busher, deep 3, misses that time over the backboard, and Timon will get it. And now Devin Dillon along with Cameron Rose will check back in, will play defense.
They're putting a defensive shift on, so foul, so they can be the ones that foul them. That was too far.
How about a save there from Harrison over to Jacob Humphrey. Oh my goodness.
How athletic is that?
And they can't respond there as Chaminade will go ahead and shoot 2 from the line. Right now, here at Hilbert, Timon has got the whole world in their hands as they will go ahead and move on to the New York State Catholic Class A state title game. They are up by double digits. What a game they have played.
You know, and Jake, how about the adversity they faced? They were up double digits in the first half, and Chaminade came storming back and took a 6-point lead, and Timon looked out of sync. You know, they weren't playing good defense. They were missing shots, throwing the ball away, and they regrouped and just really put it back together. Great coaching job by Coach Rowe, and then between Humphrey and Harrison, the 2 juniors, just taking over this game just with their athleticism and scoring ability. Just a fantastic fourth quarter by Timon.
And you could just hear the student section erupting right now. They have been electric all game as well. It was even at the start of the game as well. We were having the national anthems, and the student section was singing it.
Yeah, and you got to love that. As a player, there's nothing better than having your student body, your friends and fellow students there cheering you on. And they have been standing the entire game. I mean, just really, really into this game. It's been a fun one for sure. You know, hats off to Chaminade, who had a fantastic season. Jake, we talked about being 23-3. You know, battled this entire game, fought back from a 13-point deficit to get a 6-point lead. But at the end, it looks like the athleticism of Timon is going to be able to have them move on here.
You know, this may be too early to call it, but I'll just call it a too early prediction here. The way that both these teams have such a lot of underclassmen, especially in terms of starting and their starting lineups from Chaminade and Bishop Timon. Tim, I wouldn't be surprised if these teams might face again next year, depending on the amount of talent they have from their underclassmen.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
So right now, Hicks will get the intentional foul, and we'll go back to the line to shoot 2. Chaminade coming into here with 7 seniors on the roster, but they're starting 5. 4 out of the 5 are juniors, so they'll be coming back for one more year, and with the 23-3 record, expect them to have another dominant season as long Timon as well. They came into this season with only 1, 2, 3 seniors, whereas only one of them have been in the starting lineup along with Nakai Harris, who is a sophomore, so he's coming back for 2 years. Then you got your juniors who have started, who will be coming back for their senior year. Phenomenal program both these have with a lot of youth. But as this game comes winding to an end, there only had to be one winner, and it was Bishop Timon. As with 3 seconds left, Bishop Timon Tigers will move on to the New York State Catholic Class A final round as they pick up a 73-61 victory over Chaminade.
Yeah, that was a fantastic basketball game. Hats off to Chaminade for a great season. It's a tough one to swallow, but in time they'll be able to appreciate what they've done this year for sure. And Timon, not to mention, Jake, they moved up to Class E this year too. So to have a chance moving up and going to the championship game could be a storybook, movie-type ending for this team.
I want to thank everyone for tuning into this broadcast live on Western New York Athletics. For our camera guy, Tanner Saunders, our producer, Francis Beck, our color commentator, Tim Chifa. My name is Jacob Fayok, signing off on this broadcast. Bishop Timon Tigers move on to the State Catholic Class A final round, and we'll see what happens and who they face in the championship game. Have a great day, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.